If you pay attention to the world around you, you know the inconvenient truth. There are some big problems facing our planet. Global warming, pollution, melting ice caps, things like that. Hi, I'm Andrea.
And I'm Michael. You might not think these things affect you or that you can do much about them, but they do affect you and you can help.
Remember, every decision you make, from buying a can of soda to brushing your teeth, has an effect on the earth.
It's a matter of becoming eco-friendly and making the right decisions, and you can solve many of the Earth's problems.
Right now, we're going to conduct an eco-investigation to find out just how eco-friendly you, your family, this school, and your community are to the environment.
Your eco-investigation is going to require that you ask some tough questions, questions you may never have thought of before. But by asking, you can get people thinking about the environment, and that's the first step in changing things.
You may want to keep an eco-investigation logbook like this one to record your findings, observations, and ideas. Our eco-investigation is meant to find out whether we are being wasteful or eco-friendly. If you're a good detective, you'll end up with a step-by-step checklist of all the ways you can help make the Earth a more healthy place to live.
Okay, let's start our eco-investigation with a look around your home. Let's begin in the room that's probably the busiest, your kitchen. Have you ever noticed how quickly the garbage can fills up with empty boxes, bottles, and other things? Look at all that trash. How much of it is packaging, stuff we just throw away?
Did you know about half of the trash we throw away we don't even use and scarcely look at for more than a few seconds? Take a look along the kitchen shelves. How many examples of overpackaging can you spot? Look for items wrapped in several layers of packaging. Think about all the natural resources and energy it took to make them.
And all the pollution that was caused while they were being made, and the energy it took to move them from the factory to the market and then to your home. Ask yourself, is all that packaging really necessary? Make a list of the things you think would be just as good if they had less packaging.
Now, let's take another look at that kitchen trash and exactly what's in it. Are there materials in there that could be poisonous?
Are you throwing away things that could be recycled? Are there some things in the trash that could be reused before they are discarded?
Remember our 3 R's: refuse, reuse, and recycle?
Over the course of a week, go through 5 different trash bags in your home to determine how much could be reused or recycled.
Then, think of the ways the amount of trash your family produces can be reduced.
How does your family bring groceries home from the market? In shopping bags? What happens to those bags after the groceries are unpacked? Do you throw them out?
Or do heaps of plastic or paper bags fall out of the cupboard every time you open it?
Either way, that's wasteful. Over a 2-week period, keep track of exactly how many grocery bags come into your home and what happens to them. Now, what about the food you eat? Have you ever thought about what it actually takes to get that food onto your dinner table? Some foods use a lot of fertilizer and water to grow.
And it takes a great deal of energy, which creates pollution, to bring food from the farm to your local market. Cooking food also uses resources like electricity and natural gas.
To be eco-friendly, it helps to eat food that takes the least amount of natural resources to make.
Here's an interesting fact. Did you know that producing meat, especially beef for hamburgers and steaks, uses up a lot of natural resources and generates a lot of pollution? For each pound of meat a cow produces, it eats 16 pounds of food and drinks 2,500 gallons of water.
And it takes more than half of all the water we use in the United States just to raise livestock.
Keep track of how many meals containing meat you and your family eat during a 1-week period.
And consider occasionally eating a vegetarian meal, one that has no meat. Vegetables, especially organic vegetables, have less of a negative impact on the earth. Organic vegetables are better for your health too, because they are grown without using poisonous pesticides.
Now, let's take some time to check out the packages that your family's groceries come in. Does your family buy milk in plastic jugs instead of cardboard cartons?
Are eggs purchased in foam containers instead of cardboard ones? Does cheese come in individually wrapped slices or in big chunks?
Is meat and poultry packed in plastic trays and covered by a sheet of plastic or wrapped in butcher paper?
As you examine these things, which packaging do you think is better for the environment? What containers leave a smaller carbon footprint on the earth? You may want to go back and revise the list of overpackaged products you created earlier.
Next, let's talk about what we drink. If your family is typical, it consumes about 182 gallons of soda a year.
In addition to 29 gallons of juice, 104 gallons of milk, and 26 gallons of bottled water.
That's a lot of bottles, cans, and cartons and jugs, and they all create a lot of waste. Let's look at some typical containers to see which are the most eco-friendly. Aluminum cans are good. They can be recycled, and you might even get rich because they'll give you a few cents for every can you take to a recycling center.
Glass bottles are eco-friendly too because they can be recycled, but plastic soda bottles usually cannot be easily recycled.
Individual juice boxes, the kind that come with their own insertable straw, are bad for the environment because they are made from several layers of materials that cannot be separated when they are thrown away. Take a look at the beverage containers you and your family buy during one full week. How many can be recycled easily?
And of those that are recyclable, how many are actually being recycled?
What about the water you drink at home? Does your family drink tap water or bottled water? It takes a lot of energy to make, fill, and then transport millions of bottles of water to stores around the world.
Plus, bottled water creates a great deal of trash when all those plastic bottles are thrown away. And when you consider that bottled water can be no different than the tap water you get right in your own home, bottled water is not a very eco-friendly product. Perhaps the least eco-friendly things around your home are the cleaning products your family uses every day.
Strange as it may seem, the very things we use to keep our homes clean and tidy can be the very worst for the environment. For an example, a clothes washer sends a lot of dirty water down the drain, right? But if you're eco-conscious, you have to ask yourself, what else is in the water besides dirt? Many detergents contain phosphates, chemicals that get clothes clean. But when they go down the drain, chemical phosphates can kill fish, plants, and other things.
Your eco-investigation should include reading labels. Cleaning products that are best for the environment should have the words non-toxic, natural, biodegradable, or non-phosphates on their labels. Now to the bathroom.
You may be surprised to know that you can really save a lot of energy in the bathroom. Really? Do you remember in our last program, we told you which to use more water, a shower or a bath? A bathtub holds about 25 gallons of water, but a long shower can use as many as 50 gallons. So taking a shower can use up to twice as much water as a bath.
But if you're eco-friendly and take short showers and use a low-flow shower head, taking a shower can be much more efficient and use much less water than a bath.
Remember, the less water you use, the less water you waste. The less water you waste, the less pollution you create. Get it?
Now, as an eco-investigator, determine how much water your family uses taking showers and baths each week. Then, figure out ways to reduce the amount, like say installing low-flow shower heads in your house. I bet you never thought that a simple drippy faucet could be a major ecological problem. But it is, if it's left to drip and drip and drip.
Even a tiny leak can waste more than 3,000 gallons of water a year. A leaky toilet can waste more than 20,000 gallons.
And about 1 out of every 5 toilets in the country is leaking at this very moment. Is yours?
Here's a quick test you can do to see if you have a leaky toilet. But before you start, make sure your parents know what you're up to. Remove the top of the toilet tank. Then add a few drops of food coloring to the water in the tank. Then, make sure no one uses the toilet while you're conducting the test.
After about 20 minutes, check the toilet bowl. If you see colored water in the bowl, your toilet is leaking.
Check all the faucets and toilets in your home, including faucets located on the outside. Make a list of all the leaks you find and pledge to fix them. We'll tell you about more things you can do to conserve water on our next program. But right now, it's time to wrap up the eco-investigation of your home with a look at how you and your family are using electricity.
But first, another question. What do you think uses up the most electricity? Light bulbs, your television, or the refrigerator? Your refrigerator. Just sitting there in the kitchen has a big fat electrical appetite, and the more you open the door, the hungrier it gets.
Some television sets gobble up electricity, even when they're turned off.
Also, certain light bulbs use a lot less energy and last a lot longer than others. We'll tell you which ones later.
But learning when and how to use electricity is the key to becoming eco-friendly. So let's continue our investigation by listing everything in your home that uses electricity. The furnace, air conditioner, dishwasher, microwave, even the doorbell.
Next, estimate how long each member of your family uses each of those items in a typical week.
And here's where the math comes in. Try to figure out how much energy each of those electrical appliances use when they're on. That shouldn't be too hard, since the law requires that many major appliances have labels telling you how much they cost to operate.
At the end of each month, you can check your utility bills to see exactly how much gas and electricity your family actually used. With this information, you can now calculate just how energy efficient your household is.
And where you can start to cut back on your energy use. Now let's move on to school. Becoming eco-friendly at home is one thing, but imagine just how powerful you and your classmates could be if you worked together to heal the earth.
And school is a good place to start.
For instance, have you realized just how many different things you use in school every day? Since it takes up to 15 years to grow a tree big enough to make into paper, paper is a good place to start. How much paper do you use in school? To find out, you might try asking everyone to put all their used paper in one single pile for a week.
I wonder how big that pile would get if everybody in the entire school added their used paper.
Make a list of what other materials and supplies you use during the week. Include paints, pencils, glue, chalk, batteries, pens, calculators, bags, anything else you can think of, and investigate whether your school uses them wisely or not.
Your eco-investigation at school should examine many of the same things you examined at home. Does the school kitchen purchase products that are wasteful or overpackaged? Are the bottles, cans, boxes, and packaging used at school recycled or reused?
Is trash recycled? Are there enough trash cans nearby for people to put all their garbage? Are there any leaky faucets on campus?
Does your school use energy-efficient light bulbs and appliances? Once you've investigated, try to come up with a list of recommendations about how your school can use resources more efficiently. We'll give you plenty of ideas on how you can do that in our next program. Now it's time to investigate what your community is doing to help the earth and our environment.
This investigation may be a little more difficult, since the people who have the answers may be busy doing their jobs.
But keep trying. Besides, you may find that many of the questions you have, you can answer yourself, simply by looking around. Here are some things to think about. Are the streets in your community full of traffic? If so, all those cars and trucks are using a lot of energy and creating a lot of pollution. Find out if your town could use a better bus or subway system to help people get around more easily.
Are traffic signals set to reduce the amount of time that cars are stopped at red lights? A lot of gasoline is wasted and pollution created when cars and trucks just idle.
Ask why there are not more streets with bicycle lanes to make it easier and safer for people to ride bikes. Ask if your community encourages carpooling by setting up convenient pickup and drop-off sites. And see if gas stations are required to provide special pumps to capture gas fumes instead of releasing the fumes into the atmosphere. That causes air pollution too.
And like your investigation at home and school, ask how your community takes care of all the trash it creates. Do local factories live up to pollution standards?
Do local grocery stores promote eco-friendly products and feature organic foods? Your investigation could go on and on. The things you can look into are limited by only your time and energy. But once you conducted your eco-investigations, it's time to put together all the information you have gathered.
Review your logbook and come to some conclusions. How can you, your family, this school, and community become a friend to the earth?
Next, we'll give you a step-by-step plan of how you can become eco-friendly and help make the earth get better. That's when we return. Until then, I'm Michael.
And I'm Andrea, reminding you to be eco-friendly in everything you do.
The earth depends on it. Bye.